Welcome into episode 1 of the Coach Ollie Smith Show for the 2026 football season. Brought to you by Bobby Ledbetter and the folks at Twin City Used Cars. I want to give a big shout out to them. Coach, as we get ready to start an important off season for you, some coaching additions. So talk a little bit about those.
Yes, man. We brought in a few guys this year with us. Excited to have them on board. Coach Matt Patterson will be serving as our offensive coordinator. We brought in Rodney Miller. He'll be our offensive line coach this year. We have Brandon Williams that'll be coming in serving as our receivers coach, and then we have Courtney Upshaw that I think that's been really great for us doing strength and nutrition, as well as doing our defensive line outside linebackers.
That's fantastic.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot Coach Blake Worthy as well. That's coming in as one of our former guys, and he'll be coming in working as our safeties. And we had a late addition of Coach Anton Bourne with our cornerbacks.
So all of a sudden, you're kind of a new staff, and that does you got to get those guys on the same page. So a lot more coaches meetings and things like that to get your coaches gelling together.
Yes, absolutely. So
not only a change in the coaching staff area, but changing classifications, changing regions. Obviously no 7A anymore because the private schools come out and you have 6, but you're in the highest classification in the state in that region 4, which is that Huntsville region.
Absolutely, a great challenge for us and our young men.
So for you, the focus of this season is what's the focus and the goals of this team?
Well, the biggest thing is focusing on developing our young guys. We got a really young group.
Sure.
Really just trying to get better week in, week out. Not just coach talk, but truly trying to get better as a team.
Everybody talks about what you lost, what you gained. You always read that, no matter if you're looking at NFL or college or wherever. Who are the returning guys for you that you're going to lean really heavy on?
Well, from an offensive standpoint, you really got to look at Jakari Harris.
Sure.
He's a guy that played a lot, sparingly, but played a lot. You got to look at Sam Solly, obviously, to help, lean on him. A young man, Champion Brisker getting the opportunity. Then you talk about Tahir Monstella. He's the only offensive lineman that we had that started every game for us, and he's just a junior.
And then on the defense, you're going to retool some guys over there, particularly in the secondary, but you do have some linebackers returning there.
Yes, you have Carter Ransaw, you have Braden Kittle, those guys, Timmons, Zamian Timmons. So, we have a few guys right there, and then everyone else, they have been, spot play guys for us.
So those are your returners. Now your top newcomers, the guys who come in who you feel like, whether they're young or whether they're transfers, that are really going to be in a position to help this football team.
Most definitely. When I look at the offensive side, AJ Goodson, a guy that came over with us here last winter. Man, AJ's been a great leader for us, a great foundation. I really think that he's going to be really good for us up front. That group right there with David Pugh, along with Ethan Kittle and that group, I really think they're going to do a good job.
Sure.
A guy, Amir Thomas. Amir has been here, but Amir hasn't really had an opportunity. He'll get it this year, and I'm anxious to see what Jalen Coates be able to do as a every down starter on the offensive side.
Well, that's a look at the offseason, Coach. Obviously, you did some OTAs, you did some 7-on-7s. Fall camps closed. In the heat, you guys have kind of gone to morning practices.
Yeah, we're trying to do more to keep them safe. Heat-related issues, we don't want to try and get into that because it pulls a kid. He'll have to miss probably 5-6 days, and we don't want to do that. So we want to really be careful.
Absolutely.
We do maybe a little something in the afternoons, but we really want to just try to get them where they can be acclimated to the heat, but also where we can be safe and get some quality work.
Absolutely. Well, that'll do it for segment 1. We'll be back with segment 2 of the Coach Ollie Smith Show in just a moment.
Hey Titan fans, I'm Coach Ollie Smith.
And this is Khalid Smith.
And we're in class of 2027. We would like to say thank you to Mr. Bobby Ledbetter and the good people at Twin City Auto, and thank you for supporting Titan football.
Welcome back to segment 2 of the Coach Ollie Smith Show, episode 1 here in 2026. Coach, in segment 2, during the regular season, we usually talk about players and we usually talk about Player of the Week nominees, but you can't do that going into the first game of the season. The other thing we're going to do in segment 2 this year is we're going to look at, since this is the 20th year, we're going to look at a game a week from the last 20 years. And at the end, the fans are going to be able to vote on what they think was the #1 game in Titan history. You've been here for all of these.
Absolutely.
You know, there aren't a lot of schools, and that's a credit to your loyalty and how much you love this place. But to be here for all those games and those moments, and obviously you'll remember a lot of these. So let's take a look at this first nominee.
This year, in partnership with Buffalo Wild Wings, we are recognizing the top 10 games in Gadsden City Titan football history. Each week, we'll look at the plays and players that have shaped the history of Titan football. At the end of the season, you, the fans, will vote and decide which game is #1. So let's look at this week's nominee. In 2014, the Gadsden City Titans were in 7A football for the very first time. The Gadsden City Titans opened the season on August the 22nd at Duck Sanford Stadium against the number 5 Auburn Tigers in a rematch from the previous season. What followed was an instant classic. The defense was fierce through 3 quarters, and the Titans led in the 4th quarter by a score of 21-7. A victory seemed inevitable, but the Tigers scored 2 late touchdowns to force the game to overtime. In the first overtime, Titan running back Gabe Ford scored to give the Titans the lead, but Auburn answered to force a second overtime. The Titan defense held Auburn scoreless in the second extra period, leaving the games in the hands of the offense. The Gadsden City offense turned to the jumbo package, and running back Dante Rudolph scored the decisive touchdown, securing the 34-28 upset. Quarterback Ahmad Duramus led the charge, going 11 of 20 for 200 yards and a touchdown in what would be the second semifinal run in Titan history.
So that's a look, Coach, at that 2014 game. Your thoughts and remembrance to that one.
Oh man, hey, that was a good one. I remember us getting there and going down and eating in Auburn, and Coach Scott. Hey, one of the funniest things that night, it was so hot in that little locker room right there, and half us was outside, half us was inside. But man, that was a fun night that night right there down there.
It really, really was. It started a great run that year, that 2014 year for the Titans, and obviously a lot of notable guys, some of you guys watching and stuff like that are part of this. But the first nominee, that 2014 game at Auburn, that's a tough act to follow.
Oh, absolutely. It set the tone for that season, man. That was a great group of kids to play, to coach and be a part of.
So that's a look at the first nominee. Obviously, we'll release one of those every week, beginning right here with the Coach Ali Smith Show every Wednesday evening. That'll do it for segment 2. We'll be back to look at this week's game against the Oxford Yellow Jackets right after this. All right, welcome back to the final segment of episode 1 of the Coach Ali Smith Show here in 2026. Again, brought to you by Bobby Ledbetter and the folks at Twin City Used Cars. So, Coach, week 0, but game number 1 for you brings back a familiar foe. There's only one team in Titan history that we've played more than the Oxford Yellow Jackets, and they're not on the schedule. We're not even going to mention them this year.
Absolutely.
We played Oxford 17 times, lead this series by a score of 9-8. And played back in 2021 the last time we won by a score 17-9 here at home. For you, Coach Sam Adams brings in a team that year didn't kind of go the way they wanted last year. Mm-hmm. Coach Adams is a good coach. He's going to have his guys ready. What do you expect to see from Oxford Friday night?
The first and foremost thing, a very well coach football team.
Sure.
We understand that, and that's why when we scheduled it, we wanted to open up with someone that was going to be very well coached, very physical, and very sound in everything they do.
You say that, and you look at their offensive line. You know, they've got 2 offensive linemen, one that's committed to Memphis, the other committed to South Carolina. They both play guard. They call them hog mollies because that's what they are. Big guys in the middle of the offensive line.
Hey, they're humongous. They are humongous. Our guys, we understand the task that they're at hand with that, but we're going to have to be able to do some things to kind of offset their size.
And then on the defensive side of the ball, they've got another guy who's heavily recruited, a linebacker who's 6 foot 220, and he kind of flies to the football.
He's a good-looking young man, and he gets to the ball, and he gets there with some bad intentions.
So obviously for the Titans, offensively, they're going to kind of lean on those two guys up front, that offensive line group. What are the keys for your defense against that offense?
Well, to try to eliminate the big plays and try to get them in some bad situations and create some deals for them. From our standpoint, we want to make sure that we don't give up a lot of explosive plays.
And for your defense, which is young, is it fair to say one of the most important things is that your offense possess the ball and score points?
Well, we definitely got to do that, and whether we're old or young team or coming back. But one of the biggest things is our guys communicating and talking with each other.
Sure.
If we communicate, we'll be fine.
With that being said, that'll do it for this week of the Coach Ollie Smith Show. Coach, good luck against the Oxford Yellow Jackets. See you next week. Go Titans.
Go Titans.